Question 2. In this question, I squared is equal to -1. Z1, Z2 and Z3 are three complex numbers. Z1 is equal to -1 plus 2i. Z2 is equal to 2 plus 3i. Z3 is equal to 4 minus i. The complex number Z1 is shown in the Argand diagram below. Plot and label Z2, Z3 on the same Argand diagram. So we know from that Z1 was equal to 1 or -1 plus 2i. So we need to go to -1 on the real axis and we need to go up 2. So you can see there that's Z1. Z2, we need to go to 2 on the real axis, so this is 2, and we need to go up as far as 3, so 2, 3. Z3 is 4 and -1i, so we go to 4 and we go to -1 on the imaginary axis. So we can see there Z3 is going to be 4 minus 1. Part 2, it says to work out the modulus of Z1. That is, find modulus of Z1. Give your answer in third form. So, if we're looking for the modulus of a number, that just means that we're finding how long the line is from the point Z1 back as far as the origin. So in this example, I used the right angle triangle, and you can see here we're looking for the length of this pink line. So we made a right angle triangle out of that, 2 units tall and 1 unit wide. So we can see here this is 2 units, this is 1 unit, and we just use Pythagoras' theorem. So 2 squared plus 1 squared, 2 squared plus 1 squared is equal to x squared, 2 squared is equal to 4, 1 squared is equal to 1, x squared is equal to x, 4 plus 1 gives us 5, 5 is equal to x squared. We don't want x squared, we just want x. So we need to get the square root of both sides. The square root of x to be squared leaves us at x, and the square root of 5 leaves us at root 5. So the modulus of Z1 is equal to root 5. Part 3. Z4 is a complex number. And we're told that the modulus of Z4 has to be less than the modulus of Z1. We worked out the last time that the modulus of Z1 was root 5. And in other words, we found the length of the pink line there was going to be root 5. We need to write down one possible value for Z4, give your answer in the form of a plus bi, where a and b are elements of Z. So a and b can be integers. That means they can be positive or they can be negative whole numbers. I chose Z4 to be -1 plus 1i, because if we plot the point here, -1 plus 1i, you can see that the modulus of that number for Z4 is going to be smaller than the modulus of Z1. Part B. U and v are two complex numbers. U is equal to 4 minus 6i, v is equal to 1 plus i. Write u divided by b in the form of a plus bi, where a and b are elements of Z. So a and b can be integers. So you can see here we just laid that out. We put our u on top of our v, so the u value is 4 minus 6i, the v value was 1 plus i. In order for us to get rid of the denominator, what we do is multiply by the conjugate. So we take the denominator here and we just put it as 1 minus i, so we change the imaginary part over 1 minus i. We do this because eventually the denominator is going to cancel. So once we've done this, we're basically just expanding brackets with the numerator and expanding brackets with the denominator. So if we're going to expand the brackets here, we'll say 4 times 1 minus i, 1 minus i, negative 6i, negative 6i, by 1 minus i, 1 minus i. We do the exact same with the denominator. We say 1 times 1 minus i, 1 minus i, plus i times 1 minus i, 1 minus i. We then need to expand our brackets, so we'll get 4 times 1 giving us 4. We'll get 4 times minus i, giving us minus 4i. We'll get minus 6i times 1, giving us minus 6i. We'll get minus 6i by minus i, and a minus by a minus gives us a plus. 6i by i gives us 6i squared. And I've put that I squared there in a different colour because it's important, because with complex numbers, we should know that I squares always turn into -1. With our denominator, we do the exact same thing. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times minus i is minus i. Plus i times 1 is plus 1i. And plus i by minus i, a positive by a negative is a negative. I by I is I squared. That brings us to the next line, which we just tidied up. We had 4 are still there. We put these two terms together, so minus 4 minus 6i gives us minus 10i. Plus 6i squared now turns into plus 6 times -1. And we know that because I squared always turns to -1. It said at the very beginning of this question if you were to look back. We then look at our denominator. We've got 1, our minus 1i and our plus 1i will cancel. And we'll be left with 1 minus, and instead of the I squared, we're going to say a minus 1. So 1 goes in and the minus goes in. And instead of the I squared, we're putting in a minus 1. We just simplify this again. Our numerator here is going to turn into 4 minus 10i minus 6. So 4 minus 10i minus 6. And our denominator there, our two negatives, is going to turn into a positive. So we'll have 1 plus 1 giving us 2. So tidy this up again. We've got 4 take away 6, giving us minus 2, minus 10i, divided by 2, divided by 2. And our final answer there, if we divide negative 2 by 2, we get negative 1. And if we divide negative 10 by 2, we get negative 5i.